me that green light. Give me that Greenlight Maine. Give me that green light. Give me that Greenlight Maine. Give me that green light. Give me that Greenlight Maine. Give me that green light. Give me that Greenlight Maine.
Welcome to the 2016 finals of Greenlight Maine. Tonight, 3 Maine companies go head-to-head to win the grand prize of $100,000. From historic Merrill Auditorium in downtown Portland, here's our host, Don Gooding.
I'm so excited to be able to welcome you in TV land, in internet land, and here in beautiful Merrill Auditorium. Woo! It's the night we've been waiting for, when 3 of Maine's most promising entrepreneurs will go head-to-head before a panel of judges, and one of them is going to walk away with a check for $100,000. But Greenlight Maine is more than just a business competition. It's been a year-long celebration of the talent, grit, and determination of Maine's entrepreneurs. Plus, by connecting them with judges and mentors and sponsors and everyone in the audience, we are accelerating them towards success. Together, the Greenlight Maine community is helping to build Maine's future one dream at a time. We started with almost 100 applicants, but we're now down to just 3 companies: Chimani, Garbage to Garden, and Revolution Research. If you want to learn more about them, you can go to greenlightmaine.com and see their early pitches and their mentoring sessions. And I encourage you to join our online communities on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Now, to help us with this $100,000 decision, we have distinguished judges. So first we have my friend Karim Durdag, who's a serial entrepreneur, an angel investor, and Maine Technology Institute entrepreneur in residence. Welcome back, Karim.
Happy to be here, Don. Momentous and exciting occasion for Maine entrepreneurship today.
Absolutely. And then my friend Betsy Peters, also a serial entrepreneur, a past MTI entrepreneur in residence, and now Chief Marketing Officer for a venture-backed software company. Many thanks, Betsy.
Glad to be back, Don. So excited to be here and see the pitches, and thrilled that Greenlight Maine has been such a boon for entrepreneurs across the state.
And finally, my new friend, Tariq Sultan. He was a speaker at Maine Startup and Create Week, and he's a venture capitalist in Hawaii. So welcome.
Aloha. Delighted to be here in Maine and see all the great, amazing things that are happening, and can't wait to hear tonight's pitches.
And neither can I, because this has been a long time coming.
Greenlight Maine started last year with almost 100 video pitch submissions. 46 of them competed live in June, and judges picked 26 to compete on the show. After 13 episodes last fall, only 13 contestants remained, and they duked it out again in May of this year. Only 2 got the judges' thumbs up to appear tonight, and 2 weeks later, the wild card was selected with 14,000 online votes.
So now we are ready for our first pitch of the evening. Take it away, Chimani.
Great, welcome. My name's Kerry Gallivan. I'm the CEO and co-founder from Chimani. At Chimani, we develop mobile app travel guides for national parks. The problem that we're focusing on is these days people don't bring paper guidebooks anymore, yet they're relying on their mobile device when they do their trip planning as well as their navigation within parks. But most parks have no cell phone connectivity. So the solution that we provide is a mobile app which is designed to work offline, layered with curated content which is written by experts, and then built into a platform which is designed to quickly scale into multiple versions of those apps. Now, our business model is focused on advertising. So we work with large consumer brands, such as Subaru, as well as the small businesses around the parks. Our target market is the 8 billion visits globally to national parks each year. That's 8 billion. 80% of those are within North America as well as Europe. Now, our attraction to date is that we have a team of 7 high-skilled jobs based here in Portland, 14 part-time writers. We've got a board composed of an early Facebook employee as well as a former superintendent of Yosemite National Park. To date, we have 1.2 million downloads, 500,000 active users, and we're adding 50,000 new users each month. Our revenue is on track to exceed 100% increase since last year. And then when we first started Greenlight Maine, we had 10 guides. Now we have 62. But we're on a track. In order to take Chimani to that next level, we need to grow our revenue and we need to increase the number of products that we have. And that means expanding internationally. So starting tonight, we're gonna, if we get $100,000 worth for Greenlight, we will triple our marketing budget and we will launch an app in every continent, each one of the 7 continents. And to get things started, this evening, we're announcing the first international park app that we're releasing. It's the Lake District National Park in the United Kingdom. It's one of the most visited national parks in the world. And that, thank you, and this will be, it's an honor, and thanks for helping Chimani become the next great international Maine company.
Great. Betsy, over to you.
Exciting, Kerry. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about revenue per user now and where you project it to be in 3 to 5 years.
Yeah, great. So great question. So we focus on working with large consumer brands like Subaru. And so they're more of a premium advertiser. And then we work with a lot of endemic brands such as North Face and more outdoor related brands to offer them exposure within our audience. But then we focus a lot on those small businesses that are based in the gateway communities around the towns. These are small price points where it allows them to tap into this growing mobile audience, which are really using our mobile apps to begin planning their travel plans.
Karam.
So Kerry, what's your market demographic? How are you approaching that sector that's really important for you to be able to show your advertisers that you can get to those?
Yeah, our target market is, we like to call them windshield tourists. This is not a backcountry experience, and that's not our target market. It breaks down into 3 distinct demographics. We have our professional couples. So these are folks, young couples that are just about to enter into a family. And then we have young families that still have outdoor values as a core aspect of their experience, why they're going to national parks. And then we focus a lot on the RV crowd and typically the retirees, who are the actually fastest growing demographic within the national parks right now.
Tarek, maybe a very fast question.
Yeah, so you're in a double-sided market. What's your customer acquisition strategy for the market?
Great question. So we've actually been able to, from a paid strategy, we can get our cost per install down to 80 cents, which is actually quite remarkable. But we focus a lot on working with a lot of the concessionaires who are running the services within the parks. They allow for distribution in things such as their reservation booking session.
Okay, that's going to wrap up the Q&A. We will be back with our second pitch after this break on Greenlight Maine.
Tonight's Greenlight Maine is sponsored by Bangor Savings Bank, LL Bean, Bernstein Shore,
It doesn't take much to change your entire travel experience. It's more than a flight, it's the whole trip. Connect to your world with daily non-stop flights to Atlanta, Detroit, Chicago, Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, Baltimore, Charlotte, and New York City. Portland International Jetport. Way better.
And we're back for pitch number 2 tonight on Greenlight Maine. Take it away, Garbage to Garden.
Hi, I'm Tyler Frank, founder of Garbage to Garden. Grateful to be a Greenlight Maine finalist. Nationally, 40% of what we're sending to landfills is organic material. Less than 5% of it is currently recycled. Organics is a finite resource, and it must be recycled to produce food, to hold water and soil, and trap carbon emissions. Garbage to Garden has responded to this problem by leveraging technology into an elegant curbside composting solution, and already 1 in 6 Portland households are paying customers. Last year, the EPA set a national goal to reduce food waste by 50% by 2030. 30 states have banned organics from landfills. Even Maine just announced they will be promoting organics recycling. Composting is definitely coming. The effort is fledgling, and Garbage to Garden is on the cutting edge. We're helping schools, businesses, events, and households compost, and we've made it so easy you don't even get your hands dirty. Once a week on Garbage Day, we swap your buckets of food scraps for fresh, clean buckets, and if requested, a bag of finished compost at no extra cost. Participants pay $14 monthly or receive free service by attending sponsored volunteer events. With unique buckets and special equipment, we're the only composting program to overcome the ick factor by providing clean containers every week. We establish close community bonds by supporting nonprofits, community gardens, and schools. Our biggest advantage is proprietary software that automates personalized service and manages our whole operation. The G-Panel software cuts out huge portions of our daily workload. It's our key to replicating in other cities and will become a revenue stream in itself through licensing. Compared to 60 other curbside composting companies that are working on this problem, we've discovered we have the most value for the lowest cost. Garbage to Garden has become so popular that in under 4 years, we have over 5,000 households and are adding up to 200 more monthly. We are now the most subscribed to composting company in the entire United States. I started with $300 to my name. Then I moved into a tent to save money for equipment. But I don't live in a tent anymore. Now we're the leader of an emerging industry with 100% retained equity. We've crossed the break-even point and our revenue is growing 40% per year. In the past year, we've added 1,500 new subscribers, begun working directly with towns, expanded our fleet, and formed new strategic partnerships. On this foundation, we're now adding customers in Belmont and Arlington, Mass. Our satellite is low overhead with customer service, marketing, administration, and tech support managed from Portland. Our team of 15 is strengthened by our marketing talent and our in-house software developer. The compost boom is now, and we're ready. We're so ready.
And we're ready for some Q&A. Karam, over to you.
So Tyler, what's your growth strategy in terms of picking the right metro area, the right community to be able to go in and show their value, the value that you're trying to offer them, especially when it comes to route management? How are you doing that?
Yeah, absolutely. So especially with our key product, our residential service, it's all about building route density. So we want to go into an area that is naturally dense population, and also we look for metrics like high income levels, high education, people that are going to be more likely to care about where their waste goes. Belmont and Arlington fit that bill perfectly, but there's many other places in and outside of Maine where our curbside model would work.
Tarek.
So I believe you mentioned, at least in the last pitch, that you have a referral program built into your customer acquisition strategy. Can you talk a little bit more about the referral program?
Yeah, absolutely. So we try to leverage our best marketing resource of happy customers to create. We have an online portal that we recently revamped last fall where participants can access unique referral codes so they can actually get a kickback to their account by sharing it with their friends and getting them to join. And we also make available like posters and flyers and other community marketing materials.
Betsy, quick question.
Tell me about your retention, whether it's month to month or year to year. What are you experiencing?
Well, it's all about keeping the people in the program, and we have an awesome retention rate of 94% in 2015. I think it's unheard of, but that's something that we have seen right along, and it's very encouraging.
That's great.
Yeah.
Maybe one more question, Karam.
So what is the customer adoption hurdle? What stops them from exactly taking advantage of this?
Inertia is the main thing. I mean, money could be one factor. Everybody's on a scale of how much they care about their impact on the environment. And $14 a month, $3.25 a week is inexpensive. But if you don't pay for trash bags in your town and it doesn't save you money, then if you're not a gardener, then those are the things. You just have to care about it to pay that $3 a week if you don't garden. But it seems that as time goes on, more and more people are just catching the wave and kind of keeping up with the Joneses. It's creating a social movement.
Well, that's great. Great questions. And we'll be back for pitch number 3 after a short break here on Greenlight Maine.
Tonight's Greenlight Maine is sponsored by Central Maine Power, Darling's Auto Group, Days Jewelers.
We help businesses increase sales. We help increase sales by providing business owners, chief executives, and marketing managers with effective advertising strategies and marketing campaigns. We help businesses increase sales by providing practical advice and tactical plans that are meaningful and measurable. We can help your business increase sales. Find out how at SutherlandWeston.com.
Hi, Ross here for DYSART'S Restaurant. Everyone's having meetings, meeting about this, meetings about that, meeting about meetings. How ridiculous is that? Got a meeting? Meet at DYSART'S Broadway. Look at my chart. DYSART'S Broadway's got 3 meeting rooms. A big one, a bigger one, and an even bigger one. And the big one and the bigger one can combine to be even bigger than the even bigger one. How ridiculous is that?
Great food, great service, and a great place for your meeting. DYSART'S Broadway.
Big and bigger's bigger than even bigger.
DYSART'S.com.
Ridiculous.
We're ready for the final pitch here at the grand finale. Welcome, Revolution Research.
Hello, everybody. My name is Nadir Yildirim. I am PhD candidate at UMaine and president of Revolution Research, Inc., which is a research and product development company. Among with my team, we have been working on multiple projects, and today I'm going to share one of our projects, which is insulation from Maine forest. But first, I would like to share my story with you real fast. Where I come from, my hometown, we have a gorgeous beaches, nice weather, it never snows. In 2011, I moved to Maine. Guess what? I was shocked. It was so cold, and I had never that feeling before. It was really cold. Anyways, I started my PhD, and I decided to do some research on insulation, heating buildings, and energy costs. And I come up with the current products on the market, the styrofoam and fiberglass, and they have significant problems. They are bad for environment because they are non-recyclable, non-bio-based, creates landfill, and stays on the ground forever. And they are bad for human health because they include carcinogenic, hazardous chemicals in their structures. And styrofoam is extremely flammable because it's petroleum-based, and on the other hand, this fiberglass absorbs water and loses its mechanical performance. And as Revolution Research, we developed a revolutionary technology, which allows us to use Maine paper mills to produce paper, but at the same time produce construction and insulation panels. Same production, similar principles, and we can produce a variety of products. When we came here first, June 2015 to Greenlight Maine, we only had 2 inches by 2 inches prototype, which was untreated and absorbs water because it's a wood-based and it's flammable, and it also creates mildew and mold. Through mentoring with the Greenlight Maine and also funding from National Science Foundation and Maine Technology Institute, we developed and produced and scaled up 1 feet by 2 feet product, thermal insulation product we called Arbolate. Arbolate is not a 3 separate products. It's a one advanced product, nanotechnology product that has 3 exclusive features: fireproof, waterproof, mildew, and mold-proof. Of course, we had some interest for this advanced technology, especially from Owens Corning, the global leader of thermal insulation market, and also Irving. And the available market for thermal insulation is around $15 billion, where our beachhead market is $6 billion high temperature insulation market, because Arbolate can be used even over 600 Fahrenheit degree temperature. So what we need at this stage is we are looking for industrial manufacturing partners, researchers, and this 100K would allow us to go from bench scale to pilot scale. Thank you so much.
Okay, question over to Tarek.
So you spoke a lot about the technology, very impressive. Can you talk a little bit more about who your target customer is and how you're going to acquire those customers?
So our final customers actually is gas and oil companies, because they need really this high temperature insulation. We can make flexible samples as well. So these flexible samples can be also used gas and pipelines temperature, because the temperatures is over 300 Celsius, 400 Celsius, and they can be our final customers. And also factories, and also in the automobile industry, you can use these materials under hood applications.
Betsy.
So assuming that this is a replacement material,
yes,
what is the cost difference from what they're using today?
That's a very good question. Actually, our competitor, one of the competitors is Space Loft, offered by Aspen Aerogels. However, they are using a raw material silica, which is way expensive than these wood nanofibers. So our cost, even if lab scale, we can make a profit, because the sale and retail price of these products is over $5 per square feet. Even if in our lab scale, we can make a profit today.
Kara.
So Nadia, can you just talk a little bit about how you plan to scale the manufacturing up? Because it's not trivial in terms of either making it or the process control required. So what are your plans in terms of
scaling
manufacturing infrastructure?
So our first plan is to have experienced industrial manufacturing partners. It can be paper mills, it can be Aspen Aerogels, who has already experience, and we can make a licensing, we can make a partnership, and we can go from there. We are a research and product development company, so our sustainable mentality will be, making research and development always, and making partnerships and keep the revenue going.
Okay, I think that's time for Q&A. So we'll be back with judge deliberations after this break here on Greenlight Maine.
Tonight's Greenlight Maine is sponsored by Don Faucher's Discount Tire and Alignment, the Finance Authority of Maine, Hancock Lumber.
I'm not thinking about health insurance all the time, but when I do, I know that Community Health Options is there for us. Whether we're getting a checkup, a test at the lab, or we're in the hospital, Community Health Options is there every step of the way. They'll help you get the most of your prescription benefits and manage any ongoing conditions, so you can think about other things.
Member-centered Community Health Options. Sign up or re-enroll for 2016 at healthoptions.org.
As a leader in Maine and New England in providing integrated accounting, consulting, and tax services to clients large and small, the team at MacPage has proven to provide innovative solutions to help us better meet our clients' needs. We enjoy the people we serve and care about the work we do. The success of our business is based upon our ability to develop quality relationships, one client at a time. MacPage. Accessible, approachable, accountable.
And we're back at Greenlight Maine. It's time for our judges to talk about these three very different companies, different stage of development. How do you think about them? How do you think, for example, about the scalability, how big they're going to be able to get? Tarek?
Sure. So the scalability for Chimani to start, I'm a little bit concerned about the curated content, right? That's pretty hard and time intensive and capital intensive to do curated content for each of the parks. So that scalability concerns me a little bit. They've been able to get off to a good start, it sounds like, but I wonder about the long-term viability of it.
Yeah, Betsy, what do you think about that? And scalability for some of these other companies?
I'm excited about the scalability for Garbage to Garden. I think they've got a lot of potential there. Just from doing my back-of-the-envelope math, I think his lifetime value calculation is probably low given his retention number. So I think they've got a lot of cash that they're throwing off that will help them fuel growth.
Yeah, and Karam, I know I saw you asking some tough questions on Revolution Research. What was going through your mind there?
The relative untenability of their value proposition.
You want to expand on that?
I think they're in a very tough spot. For one thing, the insulation is a very commoditized market. And given that they're relying on large-scale partners to do the manufacturing, large-scale partners to do this or the customer channeling, this is a market that does not necessarily like new innovation outside of their own ecosystem.
Interesting.
And so I think it's tough. I think it's tough. Tough going.
Yeah. Now, lots of markets are tough. Tarek, you see a lot as a venture capitalist. As you look at all of these markets, which ones do you like the most, do you think?
In terms of the three pitches today?
Yeah.
I think the garbage to garden market is the most attractive. It's capitalizing on a lot of different trends in the market right now. It's not necessarily as capital intensive, say, as the R&D that's going to need to go into the Revolution one. So that's probably my favorite in terms of the market potential.
Interesting. But you like putting money into companies, right? That's your job.
I do.
That shouldn't be a barrier necessarily. Yeah.
Yeah. And they had a 10-to-1 lifetime value to customer acquisition cost, so that's very attractive, especially as not a software company either. So.
Yeah. Betsy, you do a lot with marketing. What do you think about the marketing challenges for these companies?
I think Chimani has a challenge ahead of them. It's a big market. There's lots of established competitors in the space. They've got a compelling app, but really gaining the attention of the customer over time, garnering enough of it to sell on to an advertiser is what I worry about for them.
Interesting. So, Karam, any other thoughts in terms of, as you're thinking about these three companies, different stages of development, how do you even think about a pre-revenue versus post-revenue company?
Well, in this case, that's where I think Garbage to Garden sort of differentiates itself, right? So they're at this intersection where they have demonstrated scalability, at least in one metro area. They're showing that they have a fairly well thought out revenue model that gives them that viability. And I think they're taking advantage of some positive trends from a consumer within this whole biosustainability kind of an ecosystem, which I like. So regarding how they compare to the others, I like the clarity of their vision. I like the clarity of their thought, and I like the way Tyler said he's going to hire an ops manager to grow this thing. So I appreciate and I understand what it means to him and to his team to think like that. And I think the 100 grand, I think, will go a long way for them. Whereas the other ones, I'm afraid that they'll get diffused somehow. So yeah, that's where I'm thinking.
Interesting. Well, it's a big challenge to figure out among all of these three companies which one is going to be getting that 100 grand. But I think we're going to be coming up to that decision very soon after a short break here on Greenlight Maine.
Tonight's Greenlight Maine is sponsored by HUSSON University, IDEX, MEMIC, Moody's Collision.
It's come to this. We've heard the three great companies do their pitches. We've heard the judges deliberate, and now it's time to find out who is going to go home with a check for $100,000. So first, Karam, your vote?
Garbage to Garden.
Betsy.
Garbage to Garden.
Tarek.
Garbage to Garden. Woo!
We have our $100,000 winner. The check is being presented by George Gervais, Commissioner of the Maine DECC.
Thank you very much.
The Greenlight Maine community wishes you lots of growth and success. So how does it feel?
I'm overwhelmed. I'm super excited.
Yes, I'm sure you are. Well, you've got lots of fans out there, not only in this audience, but also in our TV audience. So for all of you out there, I hope to see you online at greenlightmaine.com, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and of course in the fall, Saturday nights, when another 26 great Maine entrepreneurs try to do their part to build Maine's future, one dream at a time. Good night, everyone. Congratulations. Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Greenlight Maine would not be possible without the support of all of our corporate sponsors. Thank you. Prize money for Greenlight Maine is provided by the Maine Department of Economic and Community Development, along with the Maine Community Foundation, in coordination with Maine Accelerates Growth, Outreach and Community Engagement in partnership with Maine Startup and Create Week. Furniture for Greenlight Maine provided by Thomas Mosier. Broadcast facilities provided by the New England School of Communications at HUSSON University.
Greenlight Maine has been a paid-for presentation by the Portland Media Group.